Hey guys, welcome back to my budgeting videos. This is going to be my video for my paycheck from January the 27th. It is, just making sure things are on screen there, sorry. It is currently the 29th, it's Sunday, so I'm delayed in doing it again, but it's still the weekend, so I feel like the delay shouldn't count against me too much. My balance in my bank account right now is $1,729.12. First thing I'm taking out is part of rent. Oops, let me put that there. So $1,336.62. And unlike last paycheck, I remembered my car payment, so that will be next. $266.72. So that brings me down to $1,069.90. Then the next thing is my line of credit payment. So the minimum payment on my line of credit is $261.51 per month. So I make that payment every paycheck. So usually that means twice a month. Every now and then there's 3 paychecks in a month, so it means 3. So, I mean, it's better than just the minimum payment once a month, right? Like, it's theoretically, well, not theoretically, the balance is going down. It's just slow. Actually, after today, it will be jumping up drastically because I decided to move the balance from my credit card onto my line of credit. And I know I've done that before, and I know I swear I won't use the credit card, and then I rack up the credit card again, and I keep using the line of credit to save my butt, and now my line of credit is at a ridiculously high level, and so is my credit card. But I mean, I had to make a decision, and I don't know, it's the one that I made. I've actually gotten really good at not using my credit card because I've created all of my categories for my variable spending, and I'm sticking with moving that money over and using my digital cash envelopes for paying for stuff sort of throughout the week. And that's helping to keep me decently on track. So I'm not using their credit card for like random things as I go throughout the week. And I've been going through and sort of figuring out, okay, let me keep writing while I try to explain this, but it's confusing even to me, and I did it. Because I have such a high balance on my credit card, I don't always notice when something new charges to it. I mean, like if I make a purchase, like an Amazon purchase, I know that I've charged something to it. But I mean, if there's like an auto charge for like my Apple Music or anything that I have an auto charge for that goes to that credit card, I don't always notice it right away because it's just getting lost in all the jumble of numbers when I look at the balance. So I've been, as I find them and remember what I have that auto charges, I've been moving them over to my Neo MasterCard. So then, like that card, I never used that card. It didn't have any charges on it, and it also gives me a notification every time something is charged to it. So, you know, like I was at work one day this past week and I get this notification saying that $50 and change was charged to my credit card. And I was like, hell no, I'm just sitting here working. It turns out I had an app that I had signed up for last year, and I had intended to cancel before the renewal fee because I got it out on really good sale, and I completely forgot about it. And so it auto charged to my credit card. I missed it, so I couldn't cancel it before I got charged for it. So now I have it for another year. And I mean, I'm not mad about it. It's a language learning app. I'm trying to learn Korean, so I do use it. It is helpful. I do like the app. Did I want to pay $50 for it for another year right this particular minute in time? Not really. But it's done now. But I don't even know if I would have noticed that if it had charged to my Visa, because my Visa had over $5,000 of debt sitting on it, and it would have just been lost in the numbers. So, you know, like my auto charges, I'm trying to move over to that credit card because there's nothing sitting on it. And because I'm doing that, there's actually a lot fewer things charging through to my Visa card. And so I'm better able to see what's happening with it now. But the balance is really high, and I'm paying 19.99% interest on that credit card, whereas my line of credit interest rate is like 11%, which is still high, but it's not almost 20%. So I decided to move the balance over because I feel I have a better handle on my spending and like in general, as well as specifically with the credit card. So I don't think that I will get myself into the same problem that I'm in currently. At least I hope I don't. Oh, somebody cross fingers for me that I don't. But yeah, so I like how I was going to keep writing while I talked and then I completely stopped. So this is my line of credit payment, 261.51. That is the current line of credit payment. And then I also, when I was doing the math, I hadn't decided to move the balance from my Visa over to my line of credit yet. And my minimum payment on my Visa is $141.66. So you can see I wrote line of credit beside it instead of Visa because I have moved the balance over. And so I'm going to put the payment I would have put on the Visa onto the line of credit because I don't know what my new payment will be with the line of credit. And I don't know. I mean, we'll figure it out. I think what was putting me off of moving it over was I was worried that what if the minimum payment is too high and I can't afford to make it? And, whereas at least now the line of credit, I'm able to pay the minimum payment every paycheck. So I'm paying double every month. And so the balance is slowly coming down. And I worried like if I move over $5,000 more onto that line of credit, I don't know how they calculate how much you have to pay. I mean, I know that it takes into account like your interest and then however much they decide they charge you, I guess, for like what your balance is, for how much they want you to pay back. Like, I really don't understand how their math works. And I'm just like, what if it jumps up my charge like too high and I can't do it? But I mean, realistically right now, between the two, every paycheck I'm paying $403.17. And it's not making as much of a dent onto the Visa as I would like because of how high the interest rate is. So if I'm making still roughly that amount of a payment onto just the line of credit, but the interest rate is like half pretty much what it was on the credit card, then at least I'll be making more of like a impact on the debt. This is how it works out in my head. I really hope I'm not wrong, that I haven't screwed myself, because it's too late to fix it now. So that MasterCard I was telling you about that I'm moving my auto charges to has a balance of $64.94, so I'm paying that off completely. So that is that app that I renewed that I didn't mean to renew. And then is it my Apple Music? Yeah, it was my Apple Music that auto charged onto there. So this credit card right now, I'm using it specifically for when I buy gas and when I have auto charges going on to it, and that is it. That's all I'm using it for. And when I get gas, I immediately move the money out of my gas sinking fund and pay the card so that there's not a balance riding on it. So my goal with this is to not only get a better handle on what my monthly auto charges are so that I can understand how to incorporate them actually into like my monthly bills instead of just having them be this thing that goes to a credit card that I don't really think about. But it also, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Sorry, it's sort of like later on a Sunday night and I'm tired. But yeah, basically that credit card is used very specifically and intentionally, and is going to be, so when I get gas, I'll be paying it off immediately because I have the money sitting in the sinking fund for gas. And when it's something like an auto charge that goes through, I'm pretty sure timing wise, it'll always be fine to wait until my next budgeting weekend, which is, every 2 weeks because of payday, and then I'll just pay the balance of the credit card then. And it should never be so high that I can't pay the balance unless something really ridiculous auto charges to it that I can't even think of what it would be. So that'll keep it as a card that continuously gets used, but also immediately gets paid off before the billing cycle is over, which I think will do good things for my credit rating. And yeah, we'll also keep the card active because, apparently that's a good thing. So I'm pulling out $72 for work parking. I can't write. It would normally be $80, but I missed a day of work, not last week, but the week before, which meant that the full $80 that I had put aside for my parking for that pay period, I didn't use $8 of it. So it's still sitting in the digital cash envelope. So I'm putting that towards. So I do have $80 for parking for the next 2 weeks. I just didn't have to pull out 80 to do that. Okay, so I'm sitting at, after parking, $529.79. Then $27.50 is for Striker's envelope. That's my cat. $502.29. Do you see how I'm like slowly going more slanted? I don't know why I do that. 50 for gas. And 80 for groceries, etc. So I've been using the gift cards that I was gifted for my birthday and Christmas for, what did I just write? I should not talk and write. I'm not capable. For my grocery shopping. Where was I going with that? But there are a couple things that I buy not from the regular grocery store, but fall under that category. So I got like my powdered peanut butter. I buy it off of Amazon because it's usually a better deal. So I had a couple things that I purchased that fall under the groceries category that I actually used the money from the grocery category for. So you'll see like my tracking thing for my envelopes is updated to actually show that. So while I am putting money into the grocery fund, even though I'm not really currently using it in general for like my normal grocery shopping, because I have the gift cards, I have used like a bit of it here and there for a couple items here and there. Okay, so 50 for my miscellaneous cash envelope, and then 50 for fun, and 50 for takeout. And then I just combined into one line because it all goes into the same sinking fund, and I'm trying to save some paper here. So I'm pulling out $15 for what I have always thought of in my head is like the tech sinking fund, and that's for my Norton, my WordPress, and my Microsoft, because it's $5 each. Norton, WordPress, Microsoft. So 207 and 29, then $67 for my SUV insurance. Or my 140, 29 minus $20 for dragon boating. Now I have concerns because we had our team meeting for the beginning of the year planning yesterday, and team fees have jumped up astronomically, and I don't know how I'm going to afford it. I may have to pull the money from somewhere and then sort of pay it back. I don't know. I have to figure that out. $40 for my emergency fund. $20 for presents. Running out of paper again. Why do I keep doing that? At least I'm still on the screen. 7. Okay, no, I have to move this up. Things flying everywhere. Okay, -7 for tenant insurance. And -40 for my travel sinking fund. So I'm left with $13.29, which is actually what prompted also the idea about moving the Visa balance to the line of credit, in the hopes that the monthly payment will be a little bit less, hopefully, than what I'm paying right now with the combination of the two. Because that, I'm so not comfortable with that, because at some point, and I never know when it's going to happen, so I can't really prepare for it, there's going to be like the bank fees are going to come out. There's something else that comes out that's like bank related, and this will not be enough. like I just know that it won't. And so I need to be really careful, because otherwise it's going to go into overdraft, and I don't want it to go into overdraft. They charge me for it to go into overdraft, and I'm sure it doesn't look good if it does. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because I mean, all of the money has a purpose. It's all going somewhere. It's all going where I need it to go. I don't have enough money to put into my investments, or into charity donation, or into just sort of like long-term savings, and those things are important. But you know, this is what I got right now. So I need to really decrease the amount I pay on bills and increase the amount of money that I'm bringing in to be able to fix this problem. But I mean, I'm working on the one with the bills. Like, I'm canceling things I have subscriptions to, and I'm trying to minimize like purchases and, you know, like stuff like that to a degree. I'm still trying to live a life here. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I will figure it out. I'm not gonna get all mopey on here for you. So this is the math. I'm gonna cut up the page and put it into the book like I usually do, but I do that off camera so you're not bored looking at it. But I just wanted to show you, if I can get the book open to the right page here. Oh, stuff falling out. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Let me try to center it here. From December 30th paycheck, and then January 13th, how they're all like folded over. I'm still not hating this whole like taping it in and looking at it thing. There's usually some space onto the side, so like in the one that I do, today's will get taped in here, and I'll put a little note on the side about how like I moved the balance over from the Visa to the line of credit, just to remember when I did that, basically. And this is still filled out. I like this. I think I filled it out pretty well. You know, go me, go. So I'll probably copy this for next month, for February. And yeah, my calendar didn't really get messy. Normally when I have a calendar, they get messy. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It feels like some dead space that I would like to utilize. I'm just not sure with what yet. I still need to fill in that, clearly. But yeah, so budget. This is the budget breakdown for this particular paycheck. It's just a lot of math right now. I will insert it into the book, and if I remember, I'll take a little picture so you can see how it looks like when it's cute afterwards. Otherwise, just believe me that it gets put in, and it's as cute as I'm capable of making it right now. How is your guys' budget going? I hope it's going well. Your cash envelopes, if you're doing them, are they working out for you? Somebody left me a comment that they also do digital cash envelopes. I'm very curious how yours are turning out, because so far I'm still really liking mine. I'm not always great at remembering to update my book like on a timely manner. I sort of sit down about once a week and go in and track it all. I had to use stickers because my page was falling out. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking it so far. I started writing just on a random page about auto charging bills that I was noticing, because one of them actually pulled the money out of the like where I put my money for the digital cash envelopes, and that was a mistake. So oops. Yeah, hopefully that should be fixed, so that shouldn't happen again. But the rest of them are doing pretty good. I haven't entered in the money yet for the money that I've added into them, but I actually entered in the deductions that I did from various shopping and outings and stuff this weekend. So a lot of them look like negative balances right now, but I'll put the money in from this breakdown, and that should fix it. Except for one of them, I think it's still going to be negative by like $6, because yeah, life. That's what I did. So there we go. I hope everybody's budget is going well, and you are being safe out there and having a good time. And yeah, I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye. Okay, see, I remembered. I came back. So this is what it looks like, all taped in. I don't know if you can see it on screen because my highlighter is pretty pale, but I've checked off everything as I processed it through. This was just a little sticky note that I made for myself last time I did the budget, because even though I had calculated out that I actually only had to put in $7 per paycheck for my tenant insurance, I still put in 15 last time. So it's just a little reminder for me this time, which worked wonders. It was great. And then I just put a little piece of paper up there and highlighted it to make it really noticeable that I moved the Visa balance to the line of credit and that I put the Visa payment to the line of credit as well. So everything is done. The only one that hasn't been processed or done or paid, or however you want to word it, is the SUV payment, because that's an auto withdrawal and it'll go out on Tuesday and I have no say on when that happens. I'd happily do it now if I could. I mean, while I was doing everything, I sent my rent payment to my landlord because I figured I might as well do it now. And I just wanted to show you, I've got, because I haven't actually shown you what I did with these pages, because I never did do my like updated sort of how I set up the tracker thing. Sorry, my bad. So this is my bill tracker, clearly, since it says it right there. You might be thinking, holy hell, it's a lot of color. But it was because over here, they didn't have like another column to rewrite what your category is. And they gave you 2 lines per category, which was great, because then I put like what it was, and then some of them I had follow-up information, you know, like bi-weekly or done on paydays or whatnot. But I was just worried that like the farther across I went, I would accidentally put I would put a payment comment in the wrong cell, is what I'm trying to say. So I just highlighted them clearly going across, so that as I'm looking at things, I can kind of, oh, okay, I'm writing the RAV4 insurance over here. Color matches? Yes, it does. I don't know, maybe it was a stupid thing, but I don't mind that it's all colorful. Although if I had been thinking more clearly, I perhaps would not have put like the blue and green right beside each other, but what are you gonna do? So I've got my rent, my line of credit, my Visa, my mom, because I owe her money, mom's housekeeping, I pay her housekeeper monthly, my RAV4 payments, my RAV4 insurance, my tenant insurance, Microsoft, Norton, WordPress, sinking funds, Dragon Boat, sinking fund, and cell phone, which I put way down there because I forgot about it when I was creating the pages, because I'm brilliant like that. And then the next page, I still haven't filled this in. I almost want to change it to like a debt payoff goal now that I've moved that balance over to the line of credit, and have it start with like the starting number of debt once everything processes and I see the final number on the line of credit, and then just fill it in as I pay it off. Since that's my focus now going forward, is paying off that massive line of credit. I think it might really be quite satisfying to see that versus saving, because while I am saving towards various things, sinking funds and long-term things and whatnot, it's not like I have one big massive savings project, I guess you could say. So I think I'm going to repurpose this into a debt payoff tracking thing. So we'll see how that goes. My savings tracker, I updated it, so my presents, my travel, my emergency fund have the comments in them. And then for debt, so the Visa, I put a little comment there about move to line of credit, and then I showed both of the payments that I made onto the line of credit there, and then it jumps into the month. So the whole thing is up to date. I'm going to have to go and make February. If you have any ideas what to do with this dead space, I would very much appreciate it. And yeah, there we go. Budget done for the paycheck. I now feel very, very broke, but also like I know where all my money is, and I know that my bills are paid, and I know that I have money in my cash, my digital cash envelopes for the next 2 weeks to get me through. And I have to be a bit more careful than normal because I had more spending over this weekend than usual, so I might be a little bit not capable of doing as much stuff next weekend. But you know what, like, that's what happens when you do too much stuff on one weekend. The next weekend suffers a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I hope you guys are having a great budgeting time. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.